leaves taste good like a beer should.
You said it. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
Try a frosty cold glass of Bavarian right away.
That you say? No Boulder Dash or baloney here.
Cheers, everyone, and welcome to the Unfiltered Gentleman. And now, with a higher BAC than your ABV, Greg, Scott, and Dan.
That's us. Welcome in, everybody. It's the Unfiltered Gentleman. I am Greg. Sitting with me, as always, is Scott.
Right here.
And Dan.
I am here.
Okay. Thank you, and thank you all out there for joining us. We have a lot to get to, a lot to discuss during Crutch Talk.
Yeah.
But before we get there, huge shout out to our top listening city of last week, which this time was Santa Paula.
Oh, shit.
California.
What?
Very small city. Apparently,
Yeah.
we don't have a lot of listeners if they're top in the charts. But
Right.
What happened?
thank you, Santa Paula.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
SP.
Yeah, everyone's telling their friends, apparently. So thank you very much for spreading the word over there in Santa Paula, not too far from us. Don't forget to hashtag show us your beers on social medias, as well as tag us in any beer pictures you post. Don't forget to rate and subscribe iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you're listening to, wherever you get your fancy little podcast. And our burp word of the week, for those of you new to the show, if anybody burps into the microphone, it must be an attempt at this burp word. And this week's burp word is Mr. Burfict.
Oh.
And if you do it, you have to spit your gum out and slap it.
Yeah, no missing. No missing the gum. You got to nail it. So, Mr.
We have to headbutt anybody? Or?
Perfect plex.
Yeah.
Oh, a perfect plex.
Perfect plex.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that's where he spears you when you're not looking.
That's right.
Yeah, so make sure it's Mr. Burfict. All right, got a lot to get to, but none more important than getting to our beer of the week.
Grab your libations, pals. It's time for beer of the week.
And if you're drinking, well, you know that you're my friend. And I'll say, I think I'll have myself a beer.
I will indeed. We are having ourselves a beer from Pizza Port Brewing out of San Diego, California.
Yummy.
This is Jetty IPA. It's 7.2%, has a 3.85 on Untapped and an 89 on Beer Advocate. They say Jetty IPA is our post-surf session thirst quencher. This traditional West Coast style IPA is bright in color and delivers a swell of hop flavors. Notes of grapefruit, citrus, complement flavors of pine and cedar, leaving the palate with a clean bitterness and a dry finish.
Yes. Yeah, you get that, man.
Mm-hmm.
That piney cedar finish right there.
Got a lot of pine on the nose.
Hell yeah. I like it. Very welcome.
This is definitely old school.
Yes.
Yeah, this is like a throwback to those San Diego beers of yesteryear.
Yeah, I feel like this does have, obviously notes of citrus or what have you, but like, the pine, like you said, that just kind of brings it back. Like gives it like a bolder taste to me, unless, and maybe that's why it doesn't have so much of a hazy color either, but I'm sure that has nothing to do with it.
Old school and clean.
Yeah.
I get a little bit of that like citrusiness up front, and then just get like knocked the fuck out with pine.
I love it.
Like this is old school San Diego. Scott, what do you think of this bad boy?
I am liking it. had to swallow there. My beer.
Hey-o.
My beer.
Oh,
Yes. I agree. I can smell the pine.
How would you describe the hop flavor?
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, and then the citrus. I can taste the citrus. I smell more pine and I taste more citrus. Kind of weird.
Interesting. I get the citrus up front, and then it just gets brushed to the side.
Yeah, good call on that. You do smell that, man. Yeah, for sure.
Piney AF, as the kids would say.
I'll co-sign that.
Piney AF. It's definitely old school. So very nice. Very see-through.
Yes.
There's no haze. There's just a few bubbles in between me and Dan right now.
Yep, beautiful beer.
Beautiful looking clean beer. All right, so if you guys are anywhere near a Jetty IPA, it sounds like the consensus is good. I will say, if you're a fan of those hazies, those juicies, or those really balanced out things, this is probably not your jam. This is old school. This is hoppy and bitter.
Yes.
So be prepared for that. Mm-hmm. All right.
This is a man's IPA.
It's right. It'll put... No, I don't want to say
Never
it again.
mind.
Hair on your chest. So yeah, go check that out from Pizza Port Brewing. All right, lots to get to. Let's dive in.
Have a grievance to share? It's time for Crotch Talk.
Should my grievance be that I'm now married?
Oh my God! Are you kidding me?
Could be, right? First, before we get
How the hell did that happen?
Yeah, before we get into grievances, if you guys are listening as this drops this week, October 1st, or the week of, Oktoberfest at Integrin, if you're local here in Southern California, is on Saturday the 5th. Make sure, I guess that's the 6th, right? Make sure if you're in the Southern California area, you come hang out at Oktoberfest. 5th, I was right the first time. We're not doing any fancy setups like we've been doing, in the past, but we will be, at least I will be there getting...
just be there to party, huh?
I'll be getting hydrated.
Love it.
Very well hydrated. All right, so we've been talking about it for weeks. I've been bitching about the lead up and the planning and everything else. A wedding did occur. I am now officially married.
Oh, geez.
Can I tell you the worst part about being married?
You're married?
This goddamn wedding ring.
Oh, yeah?
I fucking hate wearing it.
It's hard to get off at the bar, huh?
Yeah. I hate it. I hate wearing it. It's so weird. I have not gotten used to it yet. In fact, if any of you guys out there in podcast land hear me like tapping my desk or something with it, please yell at me or something and like write in and tweet and tell me to shut the fuck up. I can't stop playing with it. I can't stop taking it off. I've worn it on my right hand just as much as my left hand. I cannot fucking stand it. People keep telling you get used to it. You get used to it. It's like, when will I get used to it? At this point, it's been a week.
Yeah.
It's actually worse than having your balls removed?
Yeah, so far.
Wow, amazing.
I mean, the advantage of not having your balls is no kids. So
it's true.
It's true.
It has its advantages there.
Oh man.
Yeah. See, look, I just switched it.
Oh wow, look at you.
Look at there.
Pretty good. I didn't even see it.
I notice it less on my right hand than I do on my left hand. It's weird. I don't know what that means. I prefer not to figure out what that means, but
I think it means you're married to a guy.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of wedding, the DJ at the wedding was hot.
Oh yeah.
He could have had anybody he wanted, including most men there.
Probably.
Good Lord. All right, so the wedding happened. I remember none of it. And that's not just the booze speaking. That was the end of the night. But like, man, what a blur. Everything moved so fast. I hardly remember anything from the ceremony. I even got up and read in front of people, which was surprising. I was telling the lady, I was telling her I didn't really remember anything. She's like, of course, because you're drunk. I was like, no, I was drunk at the end of the night. Like the beginning of the day, I was not drunk. And I explained it to her, like back in the days when we had another podcast that shall not be named, especially when we were doing them live. Like I just had this thing where like, I'm sure it was nerves when we were new at this. Like we would hit record, we would start. And until we hit stop, I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
Like we'd hit stop and be like, hey, what'd you guys talk about? I don't know. I don't have a fucking clue, honestly. I guess it was a nerve thing that just caused me. And so the same thing happened. Like forget basically the entire ceremony. I had to read in front of people, which I hate doing. I forget, like I don't remember any of our first dance, which is nothing I want to do less in this world than dance in front of people watching me. And I think I just had to be like, quote unquote on. And it caused me to either be nervous or whatever it is that caused that back in the day when we were doing the podcast, caused it again. It was a whole blur to me. And then at the end of the night, I did get pretty hammered.
Yeah.
A little ham-skied.
Yeah, you had that glazed look in your eye.
Yeah. Which it was funny because like people just kept handing me shit. Like no matter how quickly or slowly, or even if I just sat down for a half a second, my drink, like I immediately would be another drink in my hand, and the wife was like, "Well, I wish people would have done that for me." I'm like, sorry, I guess you don't have as good of friends as I do.
Oh man,
I think I figured out it was Big Dick Nick for the most part. I was saying like people just kept handing me. She goes, "No, I think it was mostly me because I wanted someone else to be as drunk as I was." And we talked to the bartenders a couple days after. I was like, "So was I the drunkest?" She's like, "Oh, not by far. Like you were definitely not the drunkest."
Yeah.
My best friend who was in the wedding, Deanna, was really ham-skied. So was her husband. And then Nick was real hammered. And then we heard that there's this one guy who's married to one of Shannon's friends, who I guess is a lightweight and had like 2 beers and was just gone.
No way.
Yeah. I think he should be disqualified from the competition because two beers is not enough to be ham-skied. You need to get your life together there. But yeah, apparently I wasn't the worst. But so from like, 9 o'clock till 10 o'clock, I don't remember, or maybe 9:15, I don't remember pretty much anything. And that's the booze's fault.
Oh, yeah, correct.
But I don't take credit for not remembering most of the other stuff. I do remember the speeches, unfortunately. Because boy, did those go on forever.
Some of them did.
Yeah. I'm proud to say the ones that were related to or under my asking or whatever. My best man.
Hey, he killed it.
We're not the ones that went on forever.
He killed it. That was a really good speech.
He wrote things down. He was well rehearsed.
Very good comedic timing, which
Very
is
good
very
timing.
difficult when you're giving a speech. Sometimes it could fail and you could look stupid, but he looked great.
Yeah, and especially like if one joke were to not hit, all of a sudden you start thinking about it, and it's like, oh God, should I hit the next joke? And
Yep.
no, he did a good job.
Beautiful.
But some of the ladies' friends are a little off the rails.
A little bit.
Yeah, use a goddamn piece of paper, would ya?
Yeah.
Take some fucking bullet points or something. I can understand not reading a script. I do very poorly reading scripts out loud. It's very hard for me to do the vowels. I do much better reading bullet points because when I'm reading in front of a crowd, I always lose my place. So if I'm reading like line for line, if you look at my vowels from the ceremony, the font was huge. I lose my place and then I can't find it and then I freak out. And if I have bullet points, and if like the vowels kind of mattered, so I had to read. But like if I have bullet points, I never have a script here. It'll just, I'll see it and I'll go back to the next bullet point and go back to it. And it's fine. I don't have to lose my place. But yeah, anything, just write something down. It went on for a really long time.
Yeah.
But anyways, overall, I thought it was really fun. Had a lot of beer. Had the Spaceways from Modern Times. Had the Pale Ale from 14 Cannons. 2 Integrins. We had Nighthawk and Idle Pills. Nighthawk was the first beer of the night to go. In fact, we brought all kegs back here a couple of days later. And we rented one of those party taps, like you see at the parties where you pump it and stuff. Like we want to finish off our beer, but we got like 2 pints of Nighthawk and it blew immediately. We got 4 or 5 of the Pale from 14, and we're just about to kill that Spaceways, and Idle Pills has a little bit left. I'm surprised it was the most. I figured being a light beer, most people would be drinking the Idle Pills, but
I think it was the Nighthawk, man. It called my name that night.
Yeah, it called a few people's name. I mean, it's delicious. It's one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know what else. I know. Oh, we had a wedding crasher. Yeah, I didn't find out about this till a couple days later when we went back to clean up our stuff. The guy who runs the place was telling us during the speeches, which was perfect timing because it went on forever. This guy in shorts with a backpack like came onto the property. This is a ranch for those of you who weren't there, obviously. Came onto the property and like walked into the little museum area, and which is kind of frightening. It'd be one thing if you just came up and like got a beer and a plate of food and walked off or whatever, but the museum is where we had all our personal belongings.
Oh shit.
During the day, excuse me. And so it was like, oh shit, we didn't know it till 2 days later, but I guess the wedding coordinator caught him, and then the guy who worked there caught him. And then they grabbed security, and the wedding coordinator's son was a guest at the wedding, and she like motioned over, and he came over and like helped the security guard like escort him off the property.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was like, oh shit, that could have been, it's funny now, but that could have been really bad. He's near all the stuff and the ladies' purses and all that stuff.
Could have been, yeah.
That could have been real bad. So fuck you, whoever you were. But and who crashes a wedding wearing shorts? Like at least wear something that might blend in.
It
was hot.
It was hot. Yeah.
It was a warm day. I was thinking maybe you're just going for a hike or something and say, hey, what's all the commotion about over here? And then he just kind of stumbled in on the wedding and then was promptly kicked out.
Yeah. Well, no, they asked like, hey, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh, I'm looking for my wife and 2 kids, a little blonde girl. And they're like, shut up. Get out of here.
Who isn't?
Yeah. So it's funny to hear about now, but I was like, oh, fuck, that could have been real bad.
Yeah.
But overall, from what I remember, I had a pretty good time. Like I said, end of the night, got real hydrated. I think I was mostly drinking the Spaceways. I mean, I was mostly drinking whatever people were handing me, let's be honest. There was no hard alcohol, thank God, because if people were handing me shots, it would have been a total disaster.
Yeah.
But luckily, when I get drunk, I'm usually pretty happy drunk, and I'm also pretty functioning drunk. Like, it's not like I'm stumbling. I probably had, like you said, that 1,000-yard stare, but there was no like, oh God, Greg's falling over the cake again.
No. It wasn't that bad. And I kind of thought about that too. It's like, man, when is he going to get to that level? But it never happened. So
no, luckily I tapered off, and I think at some point the wife like jammed some water in my face and I was like, take a fucking break.
Yeah.
Good thing she did.
Yeah. Probably saved your life.
Yeah. So, but one of the stories I want to hear the most, because I've actually heard it from another person, and I know you told me at the wedding, but I need to hear about Dan getting to the wedding.
Yeah, exactly. So I left a little late. Not too late. I think I left around 4 o'clock or something.
To be fair, Dan's notoriously late to everything.
Everything. But this one, I was like, I can't be late to the wedding. That'd be ridiculous. So, I felt like I was making good time. I thought, it starts around 5 is what I heard. So I should be around there like easy 4:45 as I'm doing pretty good here.
Sure.
And all of a sudden, like while I'm on the road, down Moore Park, not to give away where the wedding was, but who cares? It already happened.
Yeah. Can't crash it now.
Yeah. I start to see smoke coming out from the back of my car.
Oh, the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, what the fuck, dude? So like I like pull over, and it was like a stoplight. So I'm trying to like hit the gas after it turns green, and it won't move. Like it's revving, it's not moving. I go, oh fuck! Like last time that happened to me was the transmission. Yeah, which was I think maybe about 7 years ago or something like that. So I was like, oh shit, man! Don't tell me this is it again. So I finally, like, it did scoot a little bit, and I just parked basically into the entrance of this gated community, basically, and I was like, well, fuck, like, now I'm late, you know what I mean? I was like, now I'm like contemplating not showing up, like I gotta fix my car or whatever. I was like, fuck this stupid car, like I'm just gonna Uber over to the wedding. So on top of all of that, I had to wait about 9 minutes for somebody to show up to this, we're out in the middle of nowhere, basically, and then somebody picked me up, and I was like, all right, and they gave me a ride. Where I left the car, I was only about I was a walk away. I was like, oh shit, I didn't need you, dude. Like a couple bucks just to bring me a couple feet. I could have just walked over here. I didn't even know how close I was.
Well, if you've never been there, it's hard to tell.
Exactly. Yeah. So I got dropped off, and then I Ubered back to my pad, and I thought, well, I'll just go pick up my car the next day if it's still there.
Right.
Yeah. So I had my dad, actually, he dropped me off over to pick up my car.
Was it still there?
It was still there.
Okay. I'm a little surprised.
Me too. I was like, holy shit. Yeah. So
that's a wealthy neighborhood.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. It's interesting. Like, everyone usually leaves the red car alone. That's what I'm gonna miss, I think. So I refueled the transmission, because it was transmission fuel. It leaked everywhere. So and it was all gone. The whole, I checked it, and it was empty. So I refueled it.
You blew a seal.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And then I refilled it, and I was like, all right, now it's going. I got it going. I'm gonna drive back home. And my dad was following me, and I'm on the freeway, and he's got his wipers on him. What the fuck is he doing? It's not raining. No. Yeah, so he comes over to the side of me and goes, pull over. I go, oh shit. No. And then when I get to about Camarillo, say.
So you're like halfway from where you left it to home.
Yeah, so my car starts smoking again. Oh, God. I was like, oh my God, dude. So I pulled over. And sure enough, it's leaking everywhere. I guess why he had his wipers on is because the fucking
spraying
fluids, were spraying all over the car,
like out the tailpipe.
Yeah, pretty well. I guess from under the car.
Oh, just splashing up.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was like, man, you know what? Fuck this. Like, so I basically, what I did, I left it there, and I called fucking, the only thing I had was stuck in my head was 1877 cars for
kids. God.
So I hate that fucking commercial, but I gotta give them credit, it was stuck in my fucking head. So God. I called them, and I basically donated my car.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow,
did you? Yeah, what's gonna happen,
so it's gone.
Yeah, they tow it at their expense, they fix it at their expense, so good luck to that shit.
Right. Have fun.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pay another $700 or $1,000 to fix it again.
Bare minimum.
Yeah, and then once it's fixed and they sell it, then they give me a tax write-off. So I was like, yeah.
So you get a write-off for how much it sold for.
Exactly.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So do they deduct the repairs on the write-off?
I don't know. That Hopefully part, I don't know. Yeah, I hope not either.
Either way, it's out of your life, and thank
Exactly. So I said, that's enough, man. That's enough of stranding me here and there. Like, I'm done with it.
Yeah, the Flintstone mobile.
I know. It's gone, dude.
Wow. So how'd you get here tonight? Did you Uber here?
Nah, I borrowed my dad's truck. Actually,
okay.
So
smart. That's insane. Yeah, I have to say, I heard your story. I heard it from you, and I remembered the nuts and bolts of it the night of.
Yeah.
Obviously didn't hear the day after stuff. And then the guy I work with, who's also the wedding coordinator's son, was telling me that he passed you, like on the way there. He's like, he's driving with his wife, and they're running really tight on time, because we told everybody it starts at 5, but we didn't tell anybody except the wedding coordinators it really starts at 5:15, because everyone's always fucking late.
It's true.
Her brother's the worst. You think you're notoriously late? Your brother would beat you any day. So we told everybody 15 minutes on purpose. So anyways, it's 4:55, and he passes you, and he says to his wife, like, I think that's Greg's friend Dan. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, no, that's I mean, he's wearing a suit. He's probably coming to the wedding, because it's very close to the wedding venue. Yeah. And she's like, no. She's like, we need to get there. We're running late, blah, blah, blah. So whatever. He listens to his wife like a smart man, and they get there, and he goes, you know what? I'm going to drop you, and I'm going to go back. Like, I'm pretty sure I know who that is. She's like, no, you are not going to be late to this wedding. Like, your mom's working the wedding. Like, you cannot be late. So he's like, fine, whatever. And they start walking towards the wedding. And that's about the time you come pulling up in the Uber. And the way he tells it was like you kind of rushed up and we're looking a little, worse for wear.
Yeah.
And he said that you came up and you're like, or he told you because you just found out from the wedding coordinator, like, oh, don't worry, it doesn't really start till 5:15. Let's get you a water. Let's get things settled out and go sit down. So that was insane. What a shitstorm.
I know. It was crazy, though, because it's like, I use that excuse all the time. And it's like, that my car, and it really does break down. And I was like, dude, like, can you imagine, like, I'm not going to make, or I can't, on time to the wedding. It's like, my car again. I go, yeah, sure was your car.
Sure it is, dickhead.
Yeah, but yeah, totally, man. Like, hopefully that's the last time I have to say that happened to me.
Yeah. So have you been car shopping? Or?
I've been looking around, but, I don't know. I think I might buy Japanese this time.
Yeah. I've had a Korean for the last couple cars.
Is that right?
Mostly pretty good.
Yeah. America, they can't make a car anymore, man.
No, and yours was a 90-something, right?
It was a 2006, actually.
Oh, 06. Okay. Yeah, it's still American.
Mm-hmm.
It's no bueno.
That's right.
Yeah. Anybody have any wedding stories that I don't know about from my own wedding or anything we should hear?
It was a good wedding. I mean,
did everybody get hydrated?
Oh, yeah.
I wish I could have stayed longer, but yeah, we had to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because the wife, she was going to take the whole night off, and then we found out about the rehearsal dinner. So then she ended up taking the night before off, and then it's like, okay, well, be back by 9 o'clock tomorrow night. And
big mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's the only regret I have. We had to leave so early.
Well, it's a good thing you did. Otherwise, we probably would have ran out of beer.
I'm sure you would have.
Probably did us all a favor.
Yeah.
It would not have been nearly as drunk had you stayed.
I will say about your wedding ring, I don't know if you've learned this or not, but I've seen somebody where I gave them like a beer. I'm like, you want a bottle opener? They're like, no, I'm good. They use their wedding ring to pop open the bottle. So I know you're like hating it right now, but you might have a free bottle opener on your hand right there.
And it is titanium, so I'm not gonna fuck up a gold ring. Oh my god, we bought me quote unquote really nice ring. It was like $250 or whatever, which for a guy's ring, I mean, it doesn't need to be anything. Mm-hmm. And I didn't like it, especially for that price. So I sent it back and went through a couple other rings. First of all, I don't like any ring, but I found this one. This is exactly what I wanted the gold one to look like. And they told me, no, you don't want, because it's got beveled, but it's also thin. Like, oh no, you don't want to bevel it because it'll look even thinner. And I found this on Amazon. It's titanium. It was $13.
Oh, wow.
And it's literally, and it's the most comfortable and the best looking one that I think I've put on.
There you go.
And the wife is not a fan of the fact that how cheap it is. She's
really?
Like, we'll get you a nicer one. And like when you get more used to it, I was like, but if I like the way this looks, and like you don't sit there across the room going like, Greg, that's a piece of shit you're wearing. You can't tell.
Right.
It's like if I like the way it looks and I like the way it feels and no one can tell that it's a $13 ring, then what's it matter?
Exactly. That's what I was talking to I was talking to somebody about that, but a ring, wedding ring, it only costs as much as the person that wears it, basically. I mean, a chick could have a wedding ring the size of a house, but she's talking to every Tom, Dick, and Jane around. It's not worth anything.
Yeah.
So it costs as much as the person who wears it.
I like that. Mm-hmm. And let's be honest, I'm going to fucking lose this at some point.
Yeah. So you might as well keep it cheap.
Yeah. Somebody's going to be like, oh, you should have a backup ring. I was like, a backup ring? Like, yeah, you should get a cheap one as a backup. I was like, cheaper than $13? Like, do they have a $6 ring out there? Do I need to buy a box of Cracker Jacks?
Two for one?
Yeah.
$13.
How does it get much cheaper than this? Maybe get like an Amazon gift card or something? Did that make it cheaper? I don't know. So, all right. Well, good. That was my wedding. Sorry if that went on too long. I just love talking about myself.
I said Tom, Dick, and Jane.
Yeah.
About the chick with a big wedding ring. It's like she's talking to chicks too, apparently. I didn't realize I said that.
Hey, love is love.
I need another beer.
Apparently. We got some sports to get to. We do have another beer to get to. We have a beer review from this week's Beer Babe of the Week. Oh, yeah. She's putting in some homework. So
cool.
We'll get to that in a couple of few. Of course, the Bullpen Beer. Lots of booze news. Let's burn through some sports before we get to our Bullpen Beer.
And now, the sports, brought to you by cleaninguptheglass.com.
Whether it's the Baltimore Chop or the 1-2 punch, it's time for sports.
It is indeed. No new articles as of late, right?
No. And I've been usually again dormant on Twitter and everything. I don't know. I just kind of shut everything off for a while. Like, need a break.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Makes
Too
sense.
much like nonsense.
Yeah, the whole week before the wedding, like there was a Not very much unfiltered gentleman posting going on.
Oh yeah, I bet.
It was a little dormant on the gram.
Yeah, life was happening, people.
Oh my God, I had a lot of kegs to pick up.
Yeah,
a lot of wine to go find. So speaking of Mr. Burfict, the Raiders' Mr. Burfict was suspended for the rest of the season after spearing Jack Doyle right in the head.
That's what I heard. It was like a someone had told me it was like a fucking Goldberg spear at that point.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
He had caught the ball, already taken a knee, and then he came in like 3 seconds later with the rhino gore.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so he's out for the season, rightfully so. I mean, that guy is notoriously the dirtiest player in the NFL.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, I mean, he did hit Antonio Brown, but who could blame him for that?
Yeah,
you know,
he might have deserved it.
Yeah, they should give him a break for that one at least.
Yeah. Odell Beckham Jr. punched the Ravens' Marlo Humphrey in the face. So the Ravens didn't do a very good job on defense over the weekend, except for on Odell Beckham.
Yeah, no kidding.
And he got tired of it at one point, punched him in the face, and then he can be seen getting choked out.
Oh, man.
By said Marlon Humphrey. After he punched him, he took him to the ground and was just choking him.
Wow.
Choking ODB. So that was awesome. Check out the video if you haven't seen that.
Yep.
And just awesome football news. J-Lo and Shakira will be headlining the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yes.
The NFL has basically just said, we are trying to attract teenage girls. Like, who else is...
And Dan.
And Dan. but let's be honest, you're going to watch this on mute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and you should. You should, because there's people talking and stuff, and maybe it's like, okay, fine. Yeah. I'll watch it.
Right.
I'm ready to watch it.
Yeah.
She's made a comeback. You know, it was funny, though, because I had just got done telling somebody, I was like, man, she looks more banging than she did back when J-Lo.
Yeah.
Back then when she was like making songs with LL Cool J and stuff and Puff Daddy, because I felt like she's not wearing like crazy makeup or putting her hair in that dumb bun that she was doing. And then she's
not Jenny from the block.
Yeah, and sure enough, I was watching an interview with her and Shakira, and she's got her dumb makeup on and her hair in that freaking bun. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Come on.
Knock it off. You look like a sexy woman and keep it that way.
She's like 50.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she looks good. They both do. They clearly are not playing to who's already watching the Super Bowl. They're trying to play to who they want to get on board with the Super Bowl.
Hey,
They've been doing that for years. I mean, Beyonce, just year after year. It's like nobody who is already watching this really wants to listen to any of these people.
No, I don't want to listen to them.
Yeah, Chili Peppers was fine. I think everybody likes Chili Peppers a couple years back, but overall. And Dak Prescott, very excited that Wendy's brought back the spicy nuggets. This is a clip from the huddle, not this most recent week, but the week before.
Skip the flank right stack, 32 Sam, alert X foot. Oh, spicy nuggets are back. I might have to stop on the way home.
Dude, those spicy nuggets, man, they're back. It's big news.
It is big news. They're back, and they are delicious.
He must have been listening to the show or something.
Dak?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
He was like listening to it in his helmet, and he heard me talking about spicy nuggets.
Probably.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm sure that was it.
They stopped the camera just in time, but after he said they got to stop and, get some on the way home, he goes, that's right. So, he's very excited for those.
Man.
How many spicy nuggets have you had since they came back?
Jesus Christ.
Like, are we talking dozens?
I would take probably like a pickup truck, like bed full of spicy nuggets, probably.
A redneck pool full of spicy nuggets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Baseball, the Major League Baseball is headed to the playoffs.
It's that time.
Every baseball fan's favorite time of the year. It's October. And the Cubs, just in time for playoffs, because the Cubs aren't going anywhere, fire their manager, Joe Madden.
Yeah.
But
did he get fired or did he quit?
I'm pretty sure they fired him.
They fired him?
That's what I read, unless I read something wrong.
I wasn't sure. I know they parted ways.
Yes.
So
I'm sure he'll be picked up.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Here's my hope for Allie from Cali. Is the Angels fired their manager?
I think he stepped down.
Okay,
maybe I'm
I don't know.
confused.
He's no longer as the manager of the Angels.
Well, he did so much.
When yes, he did. They were so awesome this year.
Yeah,
the picture died and everything because of him. But he was bench coach when the Angels won the World Series.
Oh, Joe Madden was?
Joe Madden was. He was the Angels bench coach. And everywhere he's gone, he's been a winner. So my hope is that he will come out here and take over the Angels job.
And then you'll be proudly drinking out of your Angels cup.
I'm embarrassingly drinking out of it right now.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd love to drink out of it proudly and even go outside with the cup.
Oh, let the neighbors see.
Yeah,
you.
I stay inside with it right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Or when you're drinking outside, you have it in a paper bag.
That's right.
Are you drinking a 40? Nope. Angels cup. Angels cup. Big pool host fan over here.
Yeah. That's crazy though. I mean, don't the Cubs have any kind of like sentimental, like, you know, it's like, hey, he won like our first like World Series, like,
right?
He's like everywhere he's gone, he's turned the team around.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Well,
yeah. So, and like I said, he was the bench coach when they did win the World Series.
Yeah, which was 3 seasons ago.
The Angels?
It was
like...
Oh, I'm sorry. That was a while ago.
That was early 2002, 2003,
I was
somewhere around there.
thinking the Cubs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, yeah. The Cubs did, yeah. What was it, a 108-year drought?
Yeah. I will say, I would happily take him on the Dodgers.
Sure.
Right? Yeah, Dave Roberts is an idiot.
Exactly.
I think that was a direct quote.
It was.
Yeah.
I kind of felt that way. I feel like I don't watch a lot of baseball, but I was like, even I can see this guy's a moron.
Yeah. Look, here's the deal. Pitchers have bad days. And you as the coach, the manager, need to know when to fucking pull him off the mound.
Yeah.
Oh, and he does not. He's like, oh, they've only given up 5 runs? Another 5 before we lose the World Series, and then I'll pull him up.
It's interesting.
Yeah, fire Dave Roberts. That's it for sports. Old Timey Word of the Week. Fustularian.
Mm-hmm.
A fustularian. It's a low commoner who's foul-smelling. You fustularian.
Fustularian?
Yeah.
Wow.
Foul-smelling low commoner.
Oh, man, I can't wait to use that as like a backhanded compliment.
Yeah.
Like, thank you fustularian.
Yeah, and if you say it nicely,
yeah.
You know, kind of like when you say to your, like, dogs or whatever, like, even though you're pissed and you tell them to fuck, you're like, oh, fuck off, you stupid piece of shit. You know, because dogs don't know.
Oh, you're a fustularian and a scholar.
That'd be great to use at work when you're on the phone with clients.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for calling. You've been quite the fustularian today.
And then I get an email. I just Googled that word, you son of a bitch.
Google it, bitches. Indeed.
Oh, man.
Like I said, our beer babe of the week is Cassandra, and she has sent us a beer review along to go with her beer babe of the weakness. And here is Cassandra, who you can find on the grams at Craft Beer Bombshell. All one word.
Hi, Craft Beer Bombshell here, reviewing a beer from Grand Armory Brewing out of Grand Haven, Michigan. I haven't had the opportunity to visit this brewery yet, but I've tried a couple of their beers and I've been very pleased with them. Today we have their None of Your Business Stout. Pitch black pour with a delicate lacing of a creamy colored head. The nose is full-on sweet milk stout and roasted peanuts, which is very enticing to my palate. Not nearly as thick as other stouts and has a low 5% ABV, but does not disappoint in the flavor department. Decent complexity between the bold peanut butter and the lactose, atop kind of a bready malts with a mild chocolatiness. I wouldn't say this is your go-to fall-winter stout, but a delectable dessert beer nonetheless. Suitable for year-round, definitely reminiscent of a peanut butter cookie. If you see this one, pick it up, let me know what you think. And if you get a chance, head over to my Instagram, Craft Beer Bombshell, and click on the link to vote for me to be on the cover of the Maxim magazine, or you can visit MaximCovergirl.com and search for Cassandra Ballou. You can vote once every 24 hours or purchase warrior votes that will benefit Homes for Wounded Warriors organization. I appreciate your support. Thank you and have a great night.
Cheers to Cassandra.
Yes.
Yeah. So right now she's in the running for this Maxim Covergirl contest. Last I checked, I believe she was 3rd place.
Oh.
And so if you go to her Instagram at Craft Beer Bombshell, all one word, you get 1 free vote per day. Or what she was talking about was this this charity where you can pay for votes and the money goes to charity. But I believe, and boy, I hope I got this right, but I believe that Wednesday of this week is the last day to vote.
Oh, shit.
So go over now
Yeah.
at Craft Beer Bombshell on the grams. The link is right there in her profile. Give her a vote. Let's see if we can bump her up a couple of spots.
Cast your votes.
Yeah, who doesn't want a chick that likes beer
That's right.
to be on the cover of
Dude,
Maxim?
that'd be gangster.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
You sit there sipping a cold one on the cover.
Yeah,
So,
she is not a fustularian.
Exactly.
She's a...
Yeah. A
bombshell.
There it is. That truer words never spoken.
I can't wait when she says, I want to thank the unfiltered gentleman.
In fact, I think we'll get one of these.
Oh, wow.
I'll
be voting every 24 hours.
Right.
I'm setting my alarm.
I'm going to thank these 3 fustularians. The unfiltered gentlemen.
You'd be 100% correct on that.
That would be true. So, go check her out at Craft Beer Bombshell on the grams and make sure you vote for the Maxim contest. Please. All right. I think the starter has gotten tired. If it's Dave Roberts
he's wore out,
at the helm, he's already given out 8 runs.
Might have put this guy in. I don't know.
It's time to. Have you smelled it yet?
Yeah, I did.
It's time to call the pen.
He calls to the bullpen for
beer.
Smells like Sprite or Mountain Dew.
Yeah, like a flavored Sprite.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
I gave the gentleman the option before the show started between this and a big boozy stout. And the name and the flavor, I think, intrigued Dan.
Yep.
And he fought for this one.
Oh, yeah.
I let
Tooth and nail.
Yeah, tooth and nail.
I let him have it.
Yeah. So we are drinking Braxton Brewing's Graeter's Key Lime Pie. It's out of Kentucky. It's 4.5%, 4 IBUs, has a 3.78 on Untapped, nothing on Beer Advocate. From the brewery, it says, your favorite handcrafted collaboration reminiscent of family vacation. This iconic summer treat is brewed with vanilla beans, cinnamon, and freshly zested key limes to create a perfect balance of sweet and tart. A creamy dessert ale with some heavenly taste and aroma of a fresh slice of key lime pie.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
I haven't ventured in yet, but
you haven't tasted
Jump
yet.
right in there, big boy.
Oh, yeah. Jump into that key
smells
lime
good.
pool. It does. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the smell. Scott, have you tried it yet?
I have.
And what do you think of it?
Now I know why I picked the other one.
Would you pour it out?
No.
Oh, okay. There is alcohol in it, so
Correct.
It almost tastes like
almost got a Mr. Horse over there.
almost. I was like, I had to stifle it a bit, but it almost tastes like a Truly, but with like a cream soda finish.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
It's got like the mouthfeel of a cream soda.
Yeah.
Kind of that fruitiness of a
little
Truly.
bit of the
I can see that.
Yeah, what's it called? Like not the back taste.
Like the finish.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a great word.
I am not a huge fan. This, I think, technically is a Berliner. And if you know me, you know I love a good Berliner. Those are tart beers. This is not something I'm a huge fan of. It's too sweet and, I don't know, maybe too gimmicky for my liking.
Correct.
Yeah, I just...
if you told me it was a sour or something like that, I'd be like, oh, this isn't so bad.
Right. Well, Berliners are tart. They're not sour.
Right. Well, that's true.
So, I mean, in the most basic of descriptions, I guess technically it's a sour.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the vanilla isn't working for me. I don't get any cinnamon at all. It is definitely very limey for me.
I'm getting all lime.
Yeah,
really?
No, nothing else.
Yeah, you don't get the vanilla?
I'm getting all lime. No vanilla.
Scott's going to get heartburn from this one.
The vanilla and the cinnamon are kind of on the finish, I think. So after you're done drinking it, it's kind of at the end. Like you can like taste it.
Really not getting that cinnamon.
Really?
Get a lot of vanilla though. It's too weird for me. Not my jam. Would anybody buy this?
No.
Would anybody drink it again if handed it to them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Even if there was another beer as an option?
No.
I'm not saying if it was this or nothing.
If I had a choice between this and another beer, I'd probably take the other beer, depending on what it is.
Yeah,
If it was a blueberry, maybe, I don't know, maybe toss a coin, I guess.
That's true.
That's fair. Yeah, I got this from Tavor, the beer shipment thing I do often, and you know, it sounded interesting, and it sounded to me when they described it more like a Berliner, like just a tart beer. It didn't sound like it was going to have all this weirdness to it. So I got it for the wife, the now wife, and we tried one before. We were not fans.
Oh wow!
So and she loves sours, and this is just too weird for everybody. So
she didn't like it either.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
My apologies, Braxton Brewing.
Sorry.
Maybe if you have something better, you could send it our way. We're happy to review a tasty. This is just a little too weird and too gimmicky for my liking. So. All right, we got some news to get to before we head on out of here.
Extra, extra, drink all about it. It's time for booze news.
Well, as you know, there ain't no laws when you're drinking claws. The White Claw maker says they're investing $250 million to increase production and meet the demand. They cannot keep up with White Claw sales at this point.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So start following the law. I don't know. That makes no sense. In a meeting he was given on the state of the company, the founder compared the company to Starbucks, Anheuser-Busch, and other really big companies.
Is the founder's name Dr. Claw?
I'll get you, get it. I'll get you. I wish it was.
Oh.
So he loves himself and his company. Here's the thing. I think they're going to take off for a while, but I think it's a fad. I think these sort of hard seltzers will stick around, but I don't think they'll be as popular in 2 or 3 years' time as they are right now. And so to compare yourself to the likes of all these huge companies, I think is a little silly.
Yeah, take it easy.
Yeah. Keep your pants on there.
Right. You're more like Truly.
Yeah.
More. Yeah.
Yeah, we like Truly. They're craft. What else? So Weyerbacher Brewing filed for bankruptcy a couple months back. And now that they're restructuring, one of their restructuring plans includes a partnership that they struck with White Castle Burgers.
Oh, shit.
Yes. Have you guys ever had White Castle?
No.
Really? I've never, to be honest, I've never had like from the restaurant. I've had like the frozen ones or whatever.
Which probably doesn't do it justice.
Probably not, because they were disgusting. Like, it was garbage.
Right.
It was the worst frozen, like high school cafeteria burgers were better than that.
You know, I wonder if they just kind of like got put on the map with that movie, and we know what movie I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, and I wonder if it'd be like, I wonder if like I made a movie called like, you know, Dan and Greg and Scott go to like Popeyes or something.
Yeah. Go eat Wendy's spicy nuggets.
Or something like that. Yeah, spicy nuggets. And people were like, it's not that good. It's like, well, you know, that's what I eat when I'm stoned. So whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I had heard about it before the movie, and what I heard from people that went there was that it was good.
Really?
I mean, I've never tried it, and I'm thinking, like you said, the frozen food one.
Yeah, I mean, it's
it
probably
never does
not a fair comparison. Yeah. I will say I've heard from people on the East Coast that they love it.
That's what I've heard.
And I've heard from people that have gone to the East Coast to try it that they can't stand it.
Really?
It sounds like it might be kind of a regional, you know, In-N-Out out here for California.
Except In-N-Out is delicious.
Oh, yeah. Anybody who says otherwise can suck it.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, we like Five Guys burger. Well, then you like a dick in your mouth. Five Guys is awful.
I don't think I've ever had a Five Guys.
Their burgers are fine. Their fries are garbage.
Yeah.
They're soggy.
Even like the Cajun style, yeah, they are pretty...
yeah, the Cajun style are just soggy fries with Cajun salt on them.
I agree.
I got, like, when they first came out here, I got the Cajun ones. I was so excited. It sounded delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Soggy as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought maybe it's a fluke, and I went back. Still soggy. I asked somebody who was like a Five Guys fan. They're like, oh yeah, that's their style. They have soggy fries. Like, who the fuck wants soggy fries? Have you not been to In-N-Out or McDonald's for that matter?
Right.
Nobody wants fucking soggy fries.
Right. I do give any place credit, like where if, you know, obviously you're paying a lot for that burger. It's pretty expensive. Mm-hmm. But they at least allow you to like fill it up with everything, like no extra charge on top of that.
Yeah, as long as you don't get like an extra meat patty or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you could throw the kitchen sink at it and it's pretty good.
I did like being able to get like jalapenos and guac on my burger. Right. But those fries have a lot of work in order for me to order them ever again.
And they're not In-N-Out. Let's just put that
No. Even like if you just compared like burger to burger, not even close. Not even close. Like, it's nice being able to get guac on your burger, but not even close.
Mm-mm.
All that from White Castle. So I don't want to read the whole thing because this goes on and on forever. But the Portman Group is this like watchdog agency in the UK that watches over like beer distributors, alcohol distributors, and they got upset over Stone and Arrogant Bastard, which is hilarious because Arrogant Bastard has been around since the 90s. It's been in the UK for over 10 years, and they just now got upset about the name. And they said it was they went on and on about how horrible it is. So anyways, the moral of the story is that Greg Koch or Koch, I always never know how to properly say his name, the founder of Stone, Koch, wrote this huge, clearly he had like a good couple hours of free time, wrote this huge letter, which was just a giant fuck you in like 9,000 words. And it was everything they said, he's like, clearly you don't know what you're talking about, but in very like funny, witty, but not childish ways. And I encourage Deb, our friend Deb, sent us this, and I encourage everybody to read it. I'll post a link on Facebook to the letter itself. It's on Stone's website. If you don't want to wait for me to post it, go find it. It's the Portman group that he's writing to. So do yourselves a favor and go read this letter when you have a little bit of free time on your hands, or you're pretending to work or something. So it's just great. It's just great writing, and just how everyone should respond to internet trolls, basically.
I wonder how many F-bombs he deleted when he was editing.
Oh, probably he probably did like a find and replace.
Yeah.
You know, he just replaced it with a space.
Yeah.
And then finally, New Glarus Brewing gets unexpected visitors.
Uh-oh.
A herd of cows spotted.
Whoa.
Excuse me, a herd of spotted cows, a little dyslexic, made a late night visit to New Glarus, the maker of Spotted Cow.
What?
Their most famous beer is Spotted Cow.
Oh, so spotted cows were spotted.
Much of spotted cows were spotted at the Spotted Cow Brewery.
What a trip.
Yeah. Early Monday morning.
Drinking?
Yeah, oh yeah. 16 dairy cows walked into the parking lot of New Glarus Brewing. The bovine beer run was caught on tape. And basically, the security guard had to call the local sheriff for backup because there were too many cows for him to handle. And they herded the cows into a corner of the parking lot, and then trapped them in with their cars, and had to wait till morning when the farmer whose cows they were showed up to pick them up.
What a trip!
Yeah, that was hilarious. But it's just funny because Spotted Cow Brewery gets spotted cows.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
My brother used to work at Yard House. He's a bartender there, and he sent me like this text one night. He was just like, he just sent me a picture of like the front of the Yard House, and there was like goats there, and he just says random goats. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? I need a backstory.
Nope, random goats.
Yep, random goats.
That's awesome.
They're just there to have a good time.
Yep. Yeah.
You mean your brother, the Macho Man?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes,
he is the Macho Man.
He is the Macho. He does one hell of an impression.
That was really amazing.
That was great. I wish everybody could see this.
That's right.
His brother did a great Macho Man impression after for your draft.
Yeah,
the football
because he was our champion.
Yes,
and he's been,
came in with a belt too.
Yeah, that's right.
Man.
Yeah,
he had been quoting Ric Flair the whole time, so he kind of threw everyone off, and he just shows up as Macho Man. So.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, too bad no one else was there.
I know, nobody showed up.
Should have waited.
Man, my league sucks.
Should have waited. All right, that's it for us. Thank you guys for drinking along with us. You can find us at theunfilteredgentleman.com, at theunfilteredgentleman on the social medias, except for Twitter, at unfilteredgents. Don't forget to go follow Craft Beer Bombshell, all one word, on Instagram, and vote for her in the Maxim cover competition. You can leave us a drunk voicemail, 805-538-BEER, 2337. And hope to see you at Intergrins Oktoberfest if you're in the area this coming Saturday. Hope you're all staying very well hydrated. I know we are. And on that note, good night, everybody.